I did not plan a Blue Sky segment, sorry.
No, it's
but
okay,
I'm not
yeah.
going to bore you guys with that one. But again, I just emphasize
Go
that.
follow us.
Go follow us and make sure that you are spreading the good word here so that way we get more of you guys and then more great content coming your way. But yes, can't thank you guys enough. So I always like to open up with a nice thank you and a reminder that we are still appreciative of you guys. And without you guys, this shit would not be fucking happening, like I said. So, okay, for the opening warm-up segment, as I like to call it, we are going in to the Leaf Village, or should I say, the Big Apple Village.
The Big Apple Village killed me.
Yeah, that shit actually did kill me. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cross Naruto. Let's get it. All right. So, Joey, before we go into I don't have it in front of me. I didn't really plan to do page by page or anything like that. I figured we can start with how the first issue made us feel. So go ahead, let us know your thoughts first and foremost.
It did not disappoint.
Good.
It was everything that I think I wanted it to be. Because I don't know how long it's going to be. I think it's probably like a 4-issue
4 to 5
series.
at least. At the very least, yeah.
So it got us in to the Hidden Leaf Village or wherever they are, kind of in between Big Apple Village, I guess. April's there. The crux of the whole thing is April is trying to get footage of different villages or something, and she just happens to run into Team 7, which was sick right off the bat, which is obviously what the whole thing is about. Art style works so well for both Naruto and the Turtles.
Yes.
April looks great in this. Team 7 looks fantastic in this. We got a glimpse of Tsunade, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So all in all, very, very excited for what's to come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I definitely agree. That sentiment is shared. I'm very happy. Now, I will say, though, I guess to throw in some not qualms, but like some things that are gonna sound like, oh, like this is the part where we're just putting all the negatives out there. But no, it's not really negatives. Yeah, I guess you could call them nitpicks. So the interesting thing about this crossover, and I guess you could say this about all crossovers, is how the writer will adapt and show their understanding of each property. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
So I feel like it's very easy to get the turtles right. You know what I'm saying? Because the Ninja Turtles, like
they're 4 teenagers with attitude in shells, and they're green.
Yes. So I bring that up because it's like, well, how did they adapt the ninjas? How did they adapt the Naruto side of things? Because from what I understand, this is the first Naruto comic outside of its own manga and any other like crossovers that they might have done over in Japan or whatever. So this already intrigued me from the jump, not even just because of the namesake, but because I wanted to see how these characters translated over into an Americanized version. And I use the word Americanized because it does seem like it leaned at least in that direction.
Yes.
And like, I guess, it depends on the person if this is something that's really gonna bother anybody or if this is something that anyone even noticed. I haven't personally seen any opinions of this comic outside of people sharing some of the images around. Again, showing off the amazing, beautiful artwork. I will definitely applaud that.
Yeah, whoever did the coloring for this is like next level.
Oh, I love a nice, vibrant comic.
Yes.
And you have to, especially when it's with this, the Turtles and Naruto characters. And this is, it doesn't even matter whether it's vanilla or Shippuden. It's like, it's very colorful, So I'm saying what I'm saying to, I guess, say that they seemed a little off. Like, for the most part, it was fine. But like when you really look at the dialogue and you pay attention to how certain things are said, it's almost as if like these characters are trying to portray themselves, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, like it. Like I said, the turtles, no problem. It's like they're probably one of the easiest, some of the easiest characters to write for.
Right.
But then you have these Japanese characters from a completely different work, and even though everyone's ninjas, their tones are different, and their plots are obviously all different. But when it comes down to the dialogue within this first issue, I was just like, I want to see how this plays out before I completely make it seem like I'm not a big fan, because I believe in giving things a fair chance. And again, this is only the first issue.
I wonder, because the way that Turtles and kind of the American comics around that time when Turtles were coming out they're very quippy, right? Like especially Marvel comics, Turtles are very quippy characters, right. Always with a cowabunga or stuff like that. Whereas Naruto kind of can be, but it's not very pun focused or pun oriented, and so I think Kakashi had a couple puns that he was trying to get in there, and it just it felt more like the Kakashi show for most of it than anything else. But I think I understand what you're saying. It feels like it's very easy to write for the Turtles because they're just kind of quippy, and they kind of have one-liners or something about the attacks that are coming at them. And then when that's flipped on us, and it's Kakashi saying oh, but I thought you guys were the Foot Clan. Why are you coming at us with your hands or whatever? It's kind of okay, I get it, but it feels out of place.
Yes.
I think that's kind of the read I'm getting, because I have it up and just kind of scrolling back through it.
Yeah.
Which, go buy the comic. Don't go buy the comic. Anyway, I want to say how I'm reading it, but yeah, it kind of feels like. Yeah, I get what you're saying. It almost feels like they're, like you said, they're speaking as if they're trying to be themselves versus speaking as Naruto.
Yeah.
Maybe even get one Date Bayo, Maybe we'll get it next time.
Yeah, so like I said, it's something that I am very willing and open to giving this a fair shot to play out. Just like how I normally would with anything. And I mean, naturally, I'm going to give it a fair chance. It's the Turtles. It's Naruto. Two of my favorites in a dream come true type of scenario.
Literally. A dream we didn't know we had.
Exactly. And I think in part why that is because of the nature of just how seemingly impossible it is to get things like that to even occur in the first place. It's we know how rights work. We know how copyright and all that stuff goes. And it's going between American and Japanese, and when in reality the common sense in me is just email them, just ask, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sure that's how a lot of things get played into motion anyway. It's like how does Fortnite get any character? They get everybody. They clearly send out feelers. Ask. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the way you explained it is exactly how I was trying to bring it out, and I just couldn't really find the right words. So thank you for that, and that's exactly how I feel. I think that the characters on the Naruto side were not even just being Americanized, but they were being comicified, and which kind of, it adds a layer to how they are already, but that layer throws it all off, and it makes their presentation seem just not accurate enough, know?
I think it's also hard to say because you're meshing 6 characters from TMNT with Team 7, and then you have all the Foot Clan stuff. So there's so many people talking in this.
Right.
And there's so many people that they're trying to get in to kind of show how the dynamic's going to work, that it's probably going to feel a little weird at first.
Right.
So I think in issue 2 that'll probably sort itself out when it's more focused on the combat aspect of what we want to see out of this versus them kind of coming together.
Yeah, because I feel like if I don't know, and who knows, like, because obviously I'm sure all this is done and they're just waiting to release it how they want. But
Most
like,
likely, yeah.
yeah, but like, I think because of the fact that like manga characters, there's comedy, right? But like you said, there's no quips. They don't have that kind of comic, like, it's like, it's not even an aesthetic, but it's like a trope, if you will. You know? Like, that's something that you can expect. Like, I could pick up an issue of Power Rangers right now, and then there's certain ways of dialogue. But again,
Dude,
Power Rangers was like that.
So bad with that's how they are the most quippy. Out of
Yeah.
most of this stuff, yeah.
And
or like a Spider-Man comic.
Yes.
You know, like Spider-Man always has quips. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and so thinking about all that, right? It's like Turtles and Power Rangers crossed over, and that shit was like perfect. It was like, this is exactly how I imagined it would go. This is exactly how I figured the conversations between these characters would play out. But now it's like, now I'm seeing a different version where it's like, okay, the Turtle side is right because they're within their realm of comfort. They're in a comic book. And so now we're taking Japanese manga characters and we're essentially trying to give them those same traits, and it just doesn't work for me right now. Like, it's like they're trying to fit in, but because of that, it doesn't feel authentically them either. You know, like, I'm cool with the whole Big Apple Village and stuff like that, which is, it's very silly, and it definitely popped to me.
Silly.
And it made sense to, I guess, okay, this is how they're gonna connect the two worlds. Like, the integrity of this little short series is that they're basically just, it's if you want to think of the multiverse of everything, right? In this universe, New York City is essentially just another village.
Yeah.
Right?
Pretty
So
much.
that's like the best way to put it. So, all right. So those are basically all our thoughts. Now, I want to I guess, go over the events and the things that happened within this issue. So it's very easy to follow for the most part. The opening page, you see the actual scroll and the mission that they're given. And by they, I mean Team 7. And so Team 7 is doing your good old-fashioned escort mission. They're trying to escort April, I think, if I'm getting this right, remember correctly, back to the Big Apple Village, safe and sound. She originally was in the Leaf Village, presumably to meet with Lady Tsunade. She is currently the 5th Hokage, so I guess if for those that are wondering like where this could take place in the Naruto side of things, obviously this takes place at some point after when she debuted in Naruto, but obviously before Sasuke left, because Sasuke's here. So she wanted to meet with Tsunade because she was like looking into whatever type of scientific related ninja stuff that Tsunade is well known for. And so she was trying to meet with her about that. And so, like I said, Team 7's trying to escort her back. And so, of course, to basically interrupt their trails, they get ambushed by the Foot Clan, right? So shout outs to the Foot Clan.
You're applauding the Foot Clan.
Yeah, got it. I don't know, right? We're trying to be playful with this shit. So the Foot Clan's there. Now, I don't know if you noticed this too, but it seemed like the Foot Clan teamed up with like the Sound Ninja or like some other like evil ninja. Like you could see it in the headband. They had a familiar looking like village emblem on their headbands. I don't know. It's definitely not Sound, but maybe like Earth or something.
Well, I'm looking at it right now, and it looks like a foot.
Oh, well, look.
So it looks like they have their own Foot Clan headband.
Okay, so yeah, cause like the Foot Clan themselves, I know had their own headbands, but there was a few characters that looked like they had some other emblem. Maybe I'm just going blind or something over here. But
Yeah,
either way, the Foot Clan interjects, and then they're about to, of course, start this fight. But then, in the midst of that battle about to go down, who's gonna show up out of nowhere but the Ninja Turtles? All right, so of course the teenagers in a half shell, I almost said attitude, that's another show, right?
Well,
Anyway.
to be fair, Splinter, I think they do say they have attitude in this. So
They did actually. Yes,
Yeah.
you are right. Yes, they did. So out of the smoke bombs that were thrown, the Ninja Turtles intercept the Foot Clan, and then and then they have a stare down with Team 7, and so then the Foot Clan's like, all right, I guess we're not about to get involved in this. And so then April's like, oh man, I should stop this, or actually this would actually be really good footage. So then she tries to film this impending fight between Team 7 and the Ninja Turtles and Master Splinter, which funny enough, when they come on screen on the page, they are they're I want to say camouflage, but it's not what they're masking themselves. They're hiding their identities.
Yeah, like spooky masks almost.
Yeah, so I thought that part was interesting. So it's like, okay, they're trying to like hide themselves and be like true ninja would. So that's cool, I suppose. Now they're going back and forth.
You know what?
Go ahead.
What's funny
Yeah.
is that they have masks on to hide themselves, but they're probably the only 4 turtles in the entire world that are ninja.
Correct.
You know?
You'd be right. Yeah. So I mean, even in this world, so it's like, yeah, I mean, the costume to see them in those masks was like whatever. Like it didn't really bother me, but like
they still look cool.
Yeah, they definitely still look cool. But the funny part is, it's like they didn't even question everything else. Like there was an interaction with Sakura and Raph where she was like, "Oh, armor, like nice or something like that."
Yeah.
And he's like, and Raph's like, "Yeah, pretty tough or something. It's pretty tough or something like that." But I'm like, "Oh, but you don't notice the big green skin and the fact that they have like 4 or 3 fingers?" Like, okay, like, cool, I guess, right? So yeah, so
hey, they're kids, man. I don't know. Maybe they've never seen a turtle before. Just.
I mean, even at this point, they've seen some pretty crazy shit in the Naruto world. Like at this point, they already had the Chunin exam fall apart, and they were in the forest of death.
Orochimaru is already there.
Exactly.
Snake shit.
Exactly. Yeah. So like they're well acquainted with some wild shit happening and going down. So as far as the pairings goes, like we see Sakura fighting against Raph, Sasuke is fighting against why can't I Leo. I'm like going through all the names, right? So he's fighting. Yeah. Yeah, so Sasuke's fighting Leo, and then Naruto's actually taking on Donnie and Mikey by himself, while Kakashi takes on Master Splinter. Okay? So they all have their, what you would expect out of, heroes fighting each other. They're getting some hits in, and like they're kind of avoiding each other's tactics and whatnot, but they're also conversating with each other at the same time. It was some cool things that I can pull from my memory from just reading it was like Leo was telling Sasuke, it's like, I could tell like you're someone that's, made of vengeance, and he assumed that Sasuke was the leader. Now, probably because he was wearing blue and Leo wears blue, that I picked up on that. I thought that was pretty apparent to me, at least. And it made sense that I guess Naruto would be the one to take on both, because at this point, Naruto's very boastful. He's very like, oh yeah, like I'm out here, like I'm not gonna back down from a challenge, and I also have the multi-shadow clone jutsu. So
that's not what they called it in this.
Yeah, Joey, I was about to say, what did they call it?
The art of the doppelganger, which I thought was very interesting.
Yeah.
Literally never in my life have I heard it referred to as that.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe Kishimoto's been hiding something the whole time.
Listen, I know that. I remember from reading the original manga back in the day, like the word doppelganger was used, but they didn't. I don't think they called it that even in the manga. It was always the shadow clone jutsu.
Yep.
So
anyway,
yeah. So I mean, like these were again, these were things that I was just like, damn, like they're really trying to make them sound like way over the top, Americanized, comicified, when it's like almost like they're nerfing them in a sense. Like they're not. It's almost like they're not allowed to be themselves in their natural way as you would expect them. Because that's the cool thing about crossovers, is like you get to see both sides as they are, but sharing the same space. So so far it doesn't really seem like that. So anyway, so the fighting ensues, and then there's at one point where, like, you can tell, like, okay, Kakashi and Splinter, they are they're about to figure out, like, I think we don't have to keep doing this anymore, which I was expecting. But what ends up actually happening is that Kakashi's like, yeah, let's see who the fuck y'all really are. Whips out the Sharingan, and, you know, and also at the same time takes all their masks. So I'm like, oh.
All their masks.
Yeah, so he takes all their masks, and it ends with Kakashi literally saying, it's good to see you again, Hamato Yoshi. I was like, wait a second.
Full government name, bro.
Right?
Full government name.
And I'm just like, wow. So in this universe, Kakashi knew of Master Splinter, bro. How the fuck is that even possible? But again, it's fun. It's a comic. Doesn't even matter anyways.
It is.
So
They go back.
And that's how the issue ends. So there's no Shredder reference or mention or tease. This is a very simple, self-contained issue. We got the Foot Clan, we got Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, Kakashi, we got Leo, Mikey, Donnie, and Raph, and Master Splinter. Obviously, April was already there. But outside of that, that's it. You know, it was a very kind of pick up and go first issue. I'm not gonna, like, unfortunately, I guess I was hoping for more, in the sense, at least in the sense that I was hoping it would make me feel more than how it left me. Like, I enjoyed what I read and what I saw, but I guess some of my nitpicks with them not being like 100% faithful to the Naruto side of this is what may hurt this story, but it is only the first issue, so
I think we
go ahead.
gotta let it breathe, and we gotta let them cook to see what comes up next, because we don't even know, like, obviously the Foot Clan's big bad, but we don't really know who, like, the big bad is, right? So probably Baxter Stockman. I'm sure we'll see some crazy team ups with Jinchuriki, maybe some evil Jinchuriki, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, and I basically glazed over the Stockman little backstory mention that April was discussing amongst the ninjas. Was like, of course, Baxter Stockman is gonna play some sort of role, and in this one, like, they explain, like, he's trying to, like usual, get ooze to make these super mutant type of animals, or like he's basically trying to create his own super soldier serum, but not make Cap. He's trying to make, like, a cross between, like, humanoid animal thing, like stuff that we've seen in Ninja Turtles, right? So it's like, okay, so it's like, so again, in the Turtle side of things, everything is to form, everything's like as you'd expect, but then the Naruto side is just like, like, I'm almost afraid to see what they end up doing with some of their other moves. That, like, what the fuck are they gonna call the Rasengan the Chidori? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Wind Sphere, like. I really hope it doesn't come to that.
Something tells me that Art of the Doppelganger is probably what it was originally called in English, and that's why they used it. Because, like, it's the ninja arts, right? And so Art of the Doppelganger, who knows? Hopefully, like, Chidori stays Chidori, and Rasengan stays Rasengan. But to be seen.
To be seen, indeed. Yeah. So. But yeah, I mean, that's basically everything. So hopefully, if you guys are reading or checking out this issue, let us know your thoughts, and let us know if this is something that you'd be interested in picking up yourself. And if you have read it, let us know, like I said, in the comments below. And as the issues come up, I suppose we'll come back around and give you guys our review on the special Naruto Cross Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I'm hoping it gets better. I really do.
Me too.
And now that brings us to the segment you've been waiting for, your question of the day. Okay. So, per usual, I asked, what are your top 3 things you would want to see in Dragon Ball Diamond?
Oh, that's that good.